gonna try, gonna try, gonna try. Work till I die, till I die, till I die. I'm gonna fail and get up, cause I'm not giving up on my dream.
Hi guys, Brookelynne and welcome to my channel. So today's video is going to be another story time, and it's going to be a hair disaster story time. I know I did one of these a few months ago, but I'm here to do another one. So it's going to be from my teenage years. And it is a time that I got my hair dyed by my cousin and it went wrong. So I wanted my hair done red. I'll start from the start. So I was 13. It was like Halloween. Yeah, I think it was like definitely on Halloween. It was the Monday. Alexa, when was the 31st of October 2005?
From Rex.com. The date has been changed to Monday, October 31st, 2005, commencing at 11 AM.
So it was a Monday. It was definitely Halloween, and it was 2005. So I'd been 13 for 4 months, and I was wanting my hair a different colour. So I'm naturally like a dark dirty blonde, and I'm starting to get to that stage where it was coming like a dirty blonde colour. And did I think I had colour on it, but did I actually have colour? No, I didn't actually have permanent colour in my hair then, but I did have about 4 perms in the space of 6 months. So I started getting the perms around March, because before that I was using them wash in and wash out. Do you remember those shaders and toners? If you're from like the millennium era, the early 2000s, you remember growing up in the 90s, early 2000s, even before then. If you remember the shaders and toners you used to get out of Boots, the ones you get for like £1, I used to use them all the time and beg my my family and all, and my aunties, my parents and all, can I have a shader and toner? And then half the time they're like no, but sometimes they're like okay, special occasion, you can dye your hair. But I used to get like the browns, the reds and all. I remember getting like the nice cherry red when I was 14, I loved it. But I used to get the brown colours, like the velvet brown I loved. So yeah, I remember them back in the day, and they were amazing. I think they should have them again. I think they should bring them out again, because I think they were so helpful. Especially people who dye their hair and their hair colour fades. The toners just help keep their hair a nice vibrant colour. So I think we should do a vote and a poll. Bring back the shaders and toners by Wella into Boots again, please. So yes, that's what I used to use to dye my hair back in the day before done permanent colour. But I was obsessed with curly hair when I was a teenager, preteen, teenager. I used to love getting my hair curled. I used to love when my cousins used to curl my hair every weekend. When I was down at their house, I used to get my hair all curled with the tongs and all. I used to love having the big bouncy curls. I loved it. So I begged my parents and my granny for a perm. I was like, I want a perm, I want a perm, I want a perm. And then finally I was allowed one, and I got one. It was Easter 2005, and it was one of them like a box perm. I remember my aunt done my perm for me and I loved it. It lasted for a good few weeks. I loved how curly it looked. It was proper kind of bouncy curls. I stayed like that for around 2 or 3 weeks, and then it went flat. So I was like, my hair's not curly anymore, I want it done again. So I got it done again. I think this time I think it was my auntie or my granny done it again for me. She done my perm and I got it all nice and done. It was lovely. It was all bouncy. I think this time it was around May time, and it was all nice and proper bouncy and everything. I stayed like that until like a few weeks, and then it went flat again. So July time, my granny paid for her hairdresser to do my hair, give it a good cut and get it permed again, which I loved. Now the cut was a bit like old fashioned, like it was like up to here, but it was like a helmet type hairstyle, like a really like longer version of bowl cut, because my granny's hairdresser is more of an older ladies clientele hairdresser, so she was used to that style of hair styling and cutting, so she done her like a longer version of that, which wasn't the most flattering, but I love the curliness of the perm. The perm lasted a bit longer this time because use these hair nets. I remember using hair nets and afro combs and all. Back in the day, no. Remember using the wee hair nets to keep my hair curly at night and everything. The perm lasted a considerable bit longer. My hair lasted a good bit longer. And here I'm back with a cold cup of tea. So my hair did last a good bit longer with the perm, with the professional perm done compared to the box perms. I got about 2 months out of it, I would say, before it went really flat. Now by this point my hair was starting to get really frizzy with all them perms, because obviously you're not meant to perm and perm and perm and perm, and that's what I did. Now, I remember around late August when my hair was like at the flat stage, and I remember begging my granny to get my hair done by hairdressers down the road, and we went to hairdressers and I got it permed and curled and just trimmed a bit, and by that point it looked nice when it got done, but after that my hair was just frizzy. It was like, it wasn't dead, but it was getting to that point where it was so dead, it was frizzy. So I remember I just had puffy hair, but I used to make my hair like that because I wanted like proper afro curly hair. I was obsessed with like afro hair. I wanted my hair to be afro hair. I know, but I still think afro hair is beautiful looking, but it's not worth me to perm my hair like that because I don't want all that damage in my hair. I know of letting colour my hair, but I just keep my hair my natural texture so I can do all different things with it. So, Horton, what's wrong? One toilet. Connor! Take him to the toilet! Connor! Take him to the toilet! Is he deaf? Right, so, while I'm waiting for my husband to take our son to the toilet, I'm going to film the rest of this video. So, yes, by that point my hair was like, kind of like a fried type texture. It wasn't completely fried, but it was that kind of really dry, frizzy texture. And I used to use an afro comb to kind of make my hair look more afro-y, just because I like that style. And then it got to the point where October, I was getting sick of my flat, dull blonde colour, because it was at that point getting that very dull, dark blonde, which the colour is now. So I was like, I don't like my hair colour. I like, well, they kind of like the texture, but I like the curls, but I didn't like the colour of my hair. So remember Halloween week, I was off school, I was staying at my granny's house, and then we were doing our shopping, and then I remember just wanting my hair done a different colour. And I remember originally I wasn't going to go red, I was going to go dark brown. I used to watch a Disney Channel on, the TV in my granny's house, and I used to watch The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, and I remember, do you know London, the girl who's like the kind of heiress type posh rich girl, remember her hair being a beautiful like dark chocolate brown with like light caramel highlights, and I was like, I want that hair colour, granny, I want that hair colour. So, because I remember a few weeks back seeing the colours in the chemist, and they released 2-in-1 colours. You got one part was like the hair dye and one part was a highlight, and I remember saying, right, Nick, when we go down shopping, I'm buying one of them colours. Well, at that point I was getting my granny to buy it. So we went out shopping, we went into Pick and Pays back in the day. Like basically a wee chemist, like basically like a wee discount store, like an independently run discount store. Still have it today, but I remember going in there to look at the hair dyes, and I remember looking at the colour. I was seeing the dark brown, I was like, that's nice. And then looked over the list side, I think it was like to the right, seeing that beautiful dark cherry red, and I was like, that's the colour. I'm going to look like her in the box. I like my hair that colour. Then the highlights were proper like a nice bright red. So I said to my granny, please can I have that hair colour? Brooke, is that what we're, and like, please granny. She's like, oh Graham. She paid for it. Then my cousin Samantha, she was like, I can do it for you. And like, yes, I'm going to get my hair done. I'm going to have it permanently dyed. I'm going to be a redhead. pretty much, I was so excited. I was getting down the road going, like just dancing. And what are you doing, kids? So I was skipping down the road, excited to get my hair done, and then my cousin Samantha, she dyed my hair since I got to her house. Now I was excited getting dyed, just doing the hair colour first, then done the highlights after. So obviously my hair was quite thick. I should have probably got 2 boxes of it. Well, shouldn't have probably done it at all, because I'll tell you in a minute why. Dyed my hair, just left it on for the amount of time it was meant to be on for, and then rinse it out. Now from the front it looked decent, but it wasn't the colour I wanted. It wasn't as dark as what the colour was on the box. It was bright red, which is not a problem. If it was even, it would have been nice if it was even. No hate to Samantha, my cousin Samantha, but she did not do a good job with my hair. She left parts of no natural hair colour at the back of my hair. The front looked like, apart from like, well, would have been okay if it was even, but it was bright red, it was patchy at the back, and the highlights were orange and pink. Yeah, it wasn't a good look. It looked nicer from the front than what did at the back, but combined with my frizzy hair because of all them perms, all the 4 perms in the space of 6 months, I was nicknamed Ronald McDonald, and it was okay when it first was done because it looked kind of straight. It had that frizzy vibe to it, so it didn't look as smooth as what it does now. But I was thinking I was great. Do you know what I mean? I was thinking I looked amazing. And I was like, Granny, look at my hair. And then she was like, your family is your parents are gonna kill you when I see your hair. I'm like, no, they won't. They'll be happy. I'm not gonna play with this, Brookelynne. I'm like, it'll be fine. I'll be fine. So my granny, she was raging at me because she didn't expect to go that. I just said to her, like, it'll be quite subtle. I think that's one thing I did say just to get away with getting her dye. I think that's one of the things I did say just to get away with getting that hair colour done. I just said to her, it'll be subtle, it's not going to be that colour in the box. There's going to be a few streaks of the colour and we'll not notice it. I'm terrible. I was terrible. So, yeah. So, I have to laugh because it's so funny. My granny was absolutely raging with me. She was so annoyed. God rest her soul, but she was so annoyed. I remember how happy she just looked. She was like, because I think she was crapping herself because she was half the face my family doing. Now I know because I've got 2 Frenchies, but they're like kids to me. They're getting me back where I put my family through when I was a kid. I'm telling you now. And when I have kids of my own, they're going to probably be worse. Seriously. Okay, so, yeah, my granny was raging. I was watching TV for about being hyper because I also have ADHD and it was worse back then. So I was hyper and like mucking around. My granny was like, will you settle down, wee girl? Just settle down for 1 minute. And like, I'm happy because I got my hair done. Happy because I got my hair done. Woo! Woo! Like getting on like that. And then obviously it was mom night, so my family would come and like pick me up. And yeah. So I walked down to my family's car. I was like 9 or something at night on Halloween, and then they were like, Brookelynne, take that Halloween wig off your head right now. And I'm like, it's not a wig. They were like, you what? What? It's not a wig? What? Like, it's my own hair. And their faces, my family's faces, they were like, white as a ghost. I remember them, white as a ghost. They were like this. Brick! Who done your hair like that? You're like Ronald McDonald. Look, did you see the back of it? I'm like, it's beautiful. It looks well. And they were like, mirror do you see in this light and tell me it looks beautiful. So they showed me what it looked like at the back, and I had some of my own natural hair colour at the back with all them patchy bits for it, and I was like, crap. Like, my parents had to pay for me to get her colour corrected at the hairdressers, God love them, like. And it turned out a nice colour when I got it done, but I spent like a week having this proper Ronald Donald hair colour. I didn't wash it in between, and when I did wash it, because I didn't blow dry or have it straightened, it was like proper Ronald Donald frizzy. It was really, really bad. Of course, back then I thought it looked great. But I remember having my parents had to pay for me to get my hair done at a hairdresser to get that colour corrected. And I remember it turned out a nice auburn colour with some kind of glitter highlights to keep me a bit happier. But it looked amazing after that. But my parents weren't too happy because I had to pay out for my hair to get done. And yeah, so basically that's the story of my one of many hair mishaps I've had throughout my whole lifetime. I've got stories upon stories of when my hair went wrong. Let me tell you, I have had stories. Now, everyone has stories of when their hair, most people do, when their hair went wrong at some point. But at the end of the day, they're laughable. Like, you don't laugh at them at the time unless you're in denial and you thought that it looked great, like myself. But back then, you'll just laugh, just look back and laugh. But they learn you to not make the same mistake. Well, I had learned it quite a few times of where I made the right choices with my hair, but back then, yeah. But at least it's a good story time. So I hope you enjoyed it, and let me know if you've had any experiences too. And I wish I had pictures. Well, my family have pictures on their old digital camera, but I don't know what their memory card or anything is or anything. I wish I had them pictures. I really, really do, because I would love to have them pictures. Some point, if I do ever come across them, I will post them in a video, or post them in a picture, or maybe update the thumbnail and post it at the side of the thumbnail. And if you're watching it in the future, whatever point that is, when I have got them pictures, you will see that there. So I might try to mimic it, like what it actually looked like, maybe through, my husband has that face app, so I can get a younger picture of myself from that era, and then kind of put the streaks and what it looked like and everything, and make it look like as authentic as it did back then. But yeah, you live and you learn, and I'll see you again for the next one. Stay gorgeous, God bless, bye.